Book 10, Part 3 of Ovid's Metamorphoses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Metamorphoses by Publius Ovidius Naso. Translated by Brooks Moore. Book 10, Part 3. Perhaps you may have heard of a swift maid who ran much faster than swift-footed men contesting in the race. What they have told is not an idle tale. She did excel them all, and you could not have said whether her swift speed or her beauty was more worthy of your praise. When this maid once consulted with an oracle of her fate after marriage, the god answered her, "You, Atalanta, never will have need of husband, who will only be your harm. For your best good you should avoid the tie, but surely you will not avoid your harm, and while yet living you will lose yourself." She was so frightened by the oracle she lived unwedded in far shaded woods, and with harsh terms repulsed insistent throngs of suitors. "I will not be won," she said, "till I am conquered first in speed. Contest the race with me. A wife and couch shall both be given to reward the swift, but death must recompense the one who lags behind. This must be the condition of a race." Indeed, she was that pitiless, but such the power of beauty, a rash multitude agreed to her harsh terms. Hippomenes had come, a stranger, to the cruel race, with condemnation in his heart against the racing young men for their headstrong love, and said, "Why seek a wife at such a risk?" But when he saw her face, and perfect form disrobed for perfect running, such a form as mine, Adonis, or as yours, if you were woman, he was so astonished he raised up his hands and said, "Oh, pardon me, brave men whom I was blaming. I could not then realize the value of the prize you strove for." And as he is praising her, his own heart leaping with love's fire, he hopes no young man may outstrip her in the race, and, full of envy, fears for the result. "But why," he cries, "is my chance in the race untried? Divinity helps those who dare." But while the hero weighed it in his mind the virgin flew as if her feet had wings. Although she seemed to him in flight as swift as any Scythian arrow, he admired her beauty more, and her swift speed appeared in her most beautiful. The breeze bore back the streamers on her flying ankles, while her hair was tossed back over her white shoulders. The bright trimmed ribbons at her knees were fluttering, and over her white girlish body came a pink flush, just as when a purple awning across a marble hall gives it a wealth of borrowed hues. And while Hippomenes in wonder gazed at her, the goal was reached, and Atalanta crowned victorious with festal wreath, and all the vanquished youths paid the death penalty with sighs and groans, according to the stipulated bond. Not frightened by the fate of those young men, he stood up boldly in the midst of all, and fixing his strong eyes upon the maiden, said, "Where is the glory in an easy victory over such weaklings? Try your fate with me. If fortune failed to favor you, how could it shame you to be conquered by a man? Megareus of Onchestus is my father, his grandsire Neptune, god of all the seas. I am descendant of the king of waves, and add to this, my name for manly worth has not disgraced the fame of my descent. If you should prove victorious against this combination, you will have achieved a great enduring name, the only one who ever bested great Hippomenes." While he was speaking, Atalanta's grace grew softer, in her vacillating hopes to conquer and be conquered; till at last her heart, unbalanced, argued in this way: "It must be some god envious of youth, wishing to spoil this one, prompts him to seek wedlock with me, and risk his own dear life. I am not worth the prize, if I may judge. His beauty does not touch me, but I could be moved by it. I must consider he is but a boy. It is not he himself who moves me, but his youth. Sufficient cause for thought are his great courage and his soul fearless of death. What of his high descent? Great grandson of the king of all the seas! What of his love for me, that has such great importance? He would perish if his fate denied my marriage to him. Oh, strange boy, go from me while you can. Abandoned hope of this alliance stained with blood. A match with me is fatal. Other maids will not refuse to wed you, and a wiser girl will gladly seek your love. But what concern is it of mine when I but think of those who have already perished? Let him look to it himself, and let him die. Since he is not warned by his knowledge of the fate of many other suitors, he declares quite plainly he is weary of his life. Shall he then die, because it must be his one hope to live with me? And suffer death, though undeserved, for me because he loves? My victory will not ward off the hate, the odium of the deed. But it is not a fault of mine. O fond, fond man, I would that you had never seen me! But you are so madly set upon it, I could wish you may prove much the swifter. Oh, how dear, how lovable, is his young girlish face! Ah, doomed Hippomenes! I only wish mischance had never let you see me. You are truly worthy of a life on earth. If I had been more fortunate, and not denied a happy marriage day, I would not share my bed with any man but you." All this the virgin Atalanta said, and knowing nothing of the power of love, she is so ignorant of what she does. She loves and does not know she is in love. Meanwhile her father and the people all loudly demanded the accustomed race. A suppliant, the young Hippomenes, invoked me with his anxious voice. "I pray to you, O Venus, queen of love, be near and help my daring. Smile upon the love you have inspired." The breeze, not envious, wafted this prayer to me, and I confess it was so tender it did move my heart. I had but little time to give him aid. There is a field there which the natives call the Fields Damasus, the most prized of all the fertile lands of Cyprus. This rich field in ancient days was set apart for me by chosen elders who decreed it should enrich my temples yearly. In this field there grows a tree with gleaming golden leaves, and all its branches crackle with bright gold. Since I was coming from there, by some chance, I had 3 golden apples in my hand, which I had plucked. With them I planned to aid Hippomenes. While quite invisible to all but him, I taught him how to use those golden apples for his benefit. The trumpet soon gave signal for the race, and both of them crouching, flashed quickly forth and skimmed the surface of the sandy course with flying feet. You might even think those two could graze the sea with unwet feet, and pass over the ripened heads of standing grain. Shouts of applause gave courage to the youth. The cheering multitude cried out to him, "Now is the time to use your strength. Go on, Hippomenes, bend to the work. You are sure to win." It must be doubted who was most rejoiced by those brave words, Megaria's son or Chionius's daughter. Oh, how often, when she could have passed him, she delayed her speed, and after gazing long upon his face, reluctantly again would pass him. Now dry, panting breath came from his weary throat, the goal still far away. Then Neptune's Scion threw one of 3 golden apples. Atalanta with wonder saw it. Eager to possess the shining fruit, she turned out of her course, picked up the rolling gold. Hippomenes passed by her, while spectators roared applause. Increasing speed, she overcame delay, made up for time lost, and again she left the youth behind. She was delayed again because he tossed another golden apple. She followed him, and passed him in the race. The last part of the course remained. He cried, "Be near me, goddess, while I use your gift." With youthful might he threw the shining gold in an oblique direction to the side, so that pursuit would mean a slow return. The virgin seemed to hesitate, in doubt whether to follow after his third prize. I forced her to turn for it, take it up, and, adding weight to the gold fruit she held, impeded her with weight and loss of time. For fear my narrative may stretch beyond the race itself, the maiden was outstripped. Hippomenes then led his prize away. Adonis, did I not deserve his thanks with tribute of sweet incense? But he was ungrateful, and, forgetful of my help, he gave me neither frankincense nor thanks. Such conduct threw me into sudden wrath, and, fretting at the slight, I felt I must not be despised at any future time. I told myself 'twas only right to make a just example of them. They were near a temple, hidden in the forest, which glorious Echion in remembered time had built to Rhea, mother of gods, in payment of a vow. So, Wearied from the distance traveled, they were glad to have a needed rest.